What if I told you that Siri was about to become smart? We've also got brand new info on how Apple plans to take the dynamic island from this to this. And I've got some brand new info on the iPhone 17 as always, but it's kind of interesting and not exactly in a good way. First though, big thanks to my friends at Abacus AI for sponsoring this video. And also, let me sort of ask you a question. Is the iPhone 17 getting a little boring to you? It feels kind of weird to say this, but given all of the leaks, all of the dummy models making their way around the web, and just all of the info that has already come out, it seems like the iPhone 17 is either going in one of two directions. Either basically everything is leaked and this is exactly what the phone is going to be, and it's sort of an open and shut case, story closed, see ya in the fall, or maybe Apple's pulling like the best con ever and they've got something totally surprising in store that no one is expecting. I hope it's that one, probably gonna be the first one, but basically we've just been hearing more and more confirmation that this is what the iPhone 17 is gonna look like. We've got some really nice looking dummy models that make this thing actually like look like it's legitimately real, and I will say, if it looks anything like this model here, it looks good. I am all for that darker color. Basically we're getting closer and closer to the official release this fall with this 4-phone lineup. 17, 17 Slim / Air, Pro, and Pro Max. It's kind of exactly what we've been talking about for months now. I do have, though, a little bit of new info to share. For example, we're hearing that purple and green might be sort of the new colors for the iPhone 17 and iPhone 17 Air. And then for the Pro phones, Apple isn't giving us some awesome vibrant pop of color, but the new sort of color option is likely going to be a sky blue, very reminiscent, if not exactly what Apple's already doing on the MacBook Air line. So if you like the way the sort of sky blue equivalent is on the Air, you'll like it on the 17 Pro and Pro Max. As we hear any more on the 17 lineup, I'll certainly let you know, but honestly, sort of the news cycle the last couple of weeks and kind of the general excitement from you guys watching these videos seems to be like on everything else but the iPhone, because a slew of other products are coming that might just be a little bit more exciting. For example, we continue to get references in Apple code to some unreleased products. For example, AirTag 2, as exciting or not exciting as that may be, is set to be getting better with better location accuracy, hopefully better battery life and things like that. That should be launching basically at any moment now. And then also this Apple HomePad Home Hub thing still continues to be referenced in code as an upcoming product. So it looks like this thing actually might be sooner to launching than we originally thought. And we're also expecting the launch of the M5 series chip this fall, with two products sort of ushering in the new era of Apple Silicon. One would be some new MacBook Pros, and the other would be some new iPad Pros with, of course, those OLED displays. Now, the good news and bad news here is that, yeah, it's a good time to pick up some new Apple products if you're interested in those, and there should be some improvements with efficiency and performance and things like that. But this isn't gonna be like some huge generation to generation upgrade. Yeah, MacBook Pros have continually gotten better with basically some pretty minor upgrades year over year. And then for the iPad Pro, we just got the crazy thin iPad Pro redesign last year. So don't expect anything crazy on that front. And while I cannot wait to see what Apple has in store for us later this year, one thing is for certain, and that is that Apple Intelligence is not getting any better or any major upgrades anytime soon, which is so sad that Apple is so behind in AI, because this is a set of tools and really an industry evolving super fast. In fact, I bet you didn't catch it in one of my recent videos. I used a couple of different AI tools. I took a still image of Apple Park and actually animated it with an AI tool to make it look like Tim was gone. And while AI tools are amazing, it's really hard to keep track of different models and different websites, different subscriptions. You're paying here, logging in there. That's why I love Chat LLM Teams from Abacus AI, because it's the one destination, your one-stop shop for all of these amazing tools, and it's a game changer. The platform gives you access to all the best LLMs out right now. So there's Grok 3, Gemini 2.5 Pro, GPT 4.5, Claude Sonnet 4, so many great large language models you can use. But if you're not an AI expert and you just sort of wanna have a task you wanna get done and you don't know which one's gonna work best, they've got a built-in tool called Route LLM that's gonna pick the best LLM for your task. They've also got built-in tools that go beyond text, obviously, these days. So image generation and video audio generation is here too, with Kling, DALL-E, Runway, Flux, Ideogram. It's all integrated right in here. And if you're tired of your AI text sounding like it was written by a robot, there's a cool humanize feature in here that'll sort of help it sound more natural. There's even a tool like Deep Agent here, which is basically like giving your ideas a task force. It can create websites, apps, write reports, all on its own. Best of all is that all of these tools are available in one place at one price. $10 a month gets you access to everything. And I can honestly say, especially these days, it's an invaluable set of resources to have. It is a wonderful investment you can make into yourself if you're doing any kind of work these days, especially if you're working with a team. It's a great way to sort of supercharge your team. So if you want to learn more and start supercharging the work you're doing, hit the link down below to learn more and check out Chat LLM Teams for yourself right now. Though I should say, one iPad that is looking to become the most exciting, that also should be getting OLED next, hopefully sometime in 2026, is the iPad mini. What's so interesting about the iPad mini is the more we hear about the leaks and rumors, the more it sounds like this is sort of becoming the mini pro device everybody wanted. And we're now actually hearing this should be the next iPad in the lineup to get the OLED display. And it almost seems like Apple's sort of gonna be possibly giving it a more pro-level treatment, that this could get an OLED display, it could get 120 hertz. I would not be the least bit surprised to see an M series chip go inside of here, and maybe this becomes sort of the pro mini pro device that enthusiasts have long been asking for. Also, Apple continues to make some progress with their iOS betas. The iOS 26 public beta isn't out just yet, though it likely will be launching soon. In the meantime, though, beta 2 is out, and you can sort of see a side-by-side on some of the changes they've made, 1 versus 2. And then one of the other sort of interesting bits of news over the last couple of days has been about Apple potentially making a big buy for Perplexity. That's that AI-powered search engine that, if done right, could maybe replace Google on all Apple devices. According to Bloomberg, this is something that Apple is discussing internally right now and would make a lot of sense for a couple of kind of big obvious reasons. Number one is that Apple Intelligence, their AI play, it's severely lacking, and honestly buying one of these companies that has done it right might just be the move to make things better, faster, and Perplexity could make a lot of sense and could make Siri actually useful, as many people want Siri to find info in real time on the web. Second reason this makes sense is we've heard for a while that Apple has been dabbling with the idea of making their own search engine, that although Google pays them, tens of billions of dollars a year, I think it's like $20 billion a year to be the default search engine on all their devices, Apple has sort of kicked around the idea of kicking Google out and running their own in-house solution, which there's a lot of privacy implications with that. We've heard that, if it wasn't as good as Google's offering, obviously it could sort of fail and be a horrible decision. But if Perplexity was powering this, it could be a lot better. And I think sort of just the third reason is just it sort of makes sense. I think that Apple has been known to make strategic sort of acquisitions when needed, and right now seems like a good time to use some of their piles of cash to fix a lot of their problems. And although, maybe a ChatGPT acquisition, or I should say OpenAI, would make a lot of sense, or Claude, Anthropic, there's different sort of big guys out there, maybe a Grok thrown in there or two, maybe something that's not such a crazy idea, we could see if Apple does decide to move forward, because this is a very sort of active situation right now. And then finally, to round things out, we continue to hear more and more exciting news about the iPhone, special edition or 20th anniversary or whatever it is, iPhone 18. We're hearing that Apple is really looking to bring down the size of the notch considerably. We're hearing some back and forth rumors on maybe just a single hole punch for the selfie camera. Maybe they're able to eliminate it entirely. Maybe they do some curved glass for the design. We're not sure just yet, but it's sort of an active discussion, something Apple is definitely working on right now. And also, we continue to hear that this iPhone Fold is something that we could see as early as next year, that we're hearing just as of a day or so ago, that Apple's looking to do a couple of different selfie cameras, both for when it's open sort of, all the way, and when it's closed and just sort of accessible for the smaller screen on the outside. We're hearing a lot about some of the display technology advancements Apple could bring to this thing, like a totally crease-free display display. Again, like I mentioned a moment ago, it seems like a lot of the Apple news of the week and kind of the last couple of months is getting more and more exciting, not for the stuff imminently releasing, but for the stuff that's maybe 6 to 12 months away. So I am hoping we see something super exciting with the iPhone. A 20th anniversary iPhone in the next year or so could make a lot of sense as something we see. And really, I think just if these rumors on the iPhone 18 are true, they might just be a worthwhile wait if they can bring down the size of the notch considerably and really refine this new design language. So I'm curious your thoughts. As always, your thoughts on the news of the week. Should Apple buy Perplexity? Are you jumping on the iOS 26 beta? iPhone 17, are you in or out? Drop a comment down below and let me know. Appreciate you guys watching. Thank you so much for your support. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, and I'll see you all in the next one.